Good morning, everybody. I made it. Yes, welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. As usual, my friends, drink it if you got it, and I need it. Oh, yeah. A little happy music to get started. Okay. Good to see everybody here. Wow, 45 people here already right at the start. How'd y'all like my new 30-second countdown intro? Does that get you in the mood for having a cup of coffee? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's been a busy morning for me. Had to catch up with my urologist at the VA annual thing, just because they've been keeping track of these kidney stones, and I had to bring her up to date on the little adventure I had a couple months ago, getting rid of a couple of those kidney stones. Got a 2-for-1 back then. What a surprise that was. And as usual, I ended up lecturing everybody there about health and diet, and they got up to date with me, and I rushed home and set up the whole studio out here and dealt with some minor technical issues that with this new mixer I'm using, but I think everything is working great, and if for some reason the audio or whatever isn't coming through real well, let me know. Let me know if you would in the chat. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat today. A couple of things. If you want to ask me a question, always put 3 capital Q's, Q, in first. I don't have Ellen here with me today. I'm going to be doing one of these, trying to keep up with the chat. Hopefully we'll get through it. I won't miss any of your questions, but done it before. Ellen will be back here tomorrow. I saw that she was all over the chat this morning before she had to leave to play patient for the wannabe nursing students that need to practice on a real human being. And I encourage her to do that because they pay her. And I keep telling her, don't give up any opportunity to make a few bucks. Don't do that. And just to be a little mercenary this morning, I want to, hang on a second, I'm busy. I'm going to put in the chat the link if any of you feel like you'd like to buy me a coffee this morning. I always appreciate that. And I got to tell you, this morning, I could use some more coffee. This is my second cup and my first cup of high test this morning. I had my usual cup of decaf with 2 drops of iodine in it when I got up, and then ran out to get to the VA. I needed to be there at 7:30. The nurse has to ask you 1,000 questions, and then you go back to the waiting room and you wait, and she was about 20 minutes late, and I've been running ever since after I got done there. So good to see you all. I don't have a lot of announcements this morning. I had almost no time to really prepare, make any notes for this thing, but did want to mention to buy me a coffee. Always appreciate that. There's also a link in the description here if you should want your very own coffee cup, and I am getting more and more pictures of people who are enjoying being here with us, drinking out of their official official morning coffee with Mitch coffee cup. They come in red and blue. Okay, that's really about it. That's really about all I have as far as announcements go. So let me hit the chat. Let me hit the chat. We'll do it early. Leave time for me to get through all that today. Let me make sure I'm live. I am live over on YouTube, it says, and I see Aaron Booby Goats was the last one in that chat. And let me check out Rumble and make sure that it's working over on Rumble. Yes, it is. And in the Rumble chat, not a whole lot. Looks like some of it disappeared from earlier. I see Lori's Carnivore story is here. I don't know how many of you came in at 8:30. I plastered 10 a.m. everywhere, announced it a couple times. So I apologize if I wasn't here when you were ready. We're not going to do it at 10 this Wednesday. Going to make today the 10 o'clock. So for the rest of the week, it will be at the normal 8:30 in the morning time. Ketra's here in Rumble. Keat, good morning to you. Rod Weeder is here. Good morning, everybody, he says. And I see Ellen chimed in earlier in the Rumble chat. Lori's Carnivore stories here, and Mike Seeley Sr. Those are the only ones that I can see right now, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it through the stream. Well, thank you, CB Carmack. CB Carmack bought me a coffee. Thanks so much, CB. Thank you, Sheriff. Very, very kind of you. Always appreciate that. All right, let me get back up to the top of the chat. Lucy Auerbach was here at 4:30 in the morning. Some people just don't sleep. Some people don't sleep. Stickman's Garage was here at 5 o'clock in the morning saying good morning to Lucy. Terry Sue was here early. She was here at 5:18 this morning. Good morning, Mitch. And all you meat grinders. That's great. Couch Potato is here. Couch Potato, still 5:25. Holy cow. Holy cow. Even Peter was up early. Good morning. Good morning, Peter. Papa Carnivore, how you doing? B-Matt was here. Good morning, Matt. How are you? 7:30 a.m. Wow. Rick was here. Charger Mopar from Miami. Will be later than usual today. Yes. And Satya was up early. Good morning, Satya. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Satya. Mike Seeley from Tampa. All the usual suspects are here. Always good to see you guys in the morning. The bottom line of my visit with the urologist was status quo. Status quo. I have my annual physical coming up January 9th, I think it is. So at the end of December, I'm going to go in to the VA and get all my blood work done. And as soon, like I did last year, as soon as I can get the results and I get them online from the VA, I'll make a video and share them with you and comment on what my opinion of them are, and just trying to let you follow along with my little journey, knowing that I don't monitor much. I don't pay attention to too much. I don't micromanage anything if I can help it. It seems to be working for me. And that's all I can recommend to you guys. I can only recommend what I've proven to myself, and that I'm not just guessing or taking somebody else's word for it. Patty Molden is here. Hiya, Patty. Good to see you this morning. Good morning. Good Monday morning, everyone. Yes, it's Monday. Holy cow. I half the time, I don't even know what day it is, to tell you the truth. And CB is in there. Thanks again for the coffee. Appreciate that, CB. Very nice of you. Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee is usually here with us. And don't forget, Throw some cues in there. I don't expect to see many of them until I get up to at least 10 o'clock in the morning. Jen S. was here at 8:26. Mama Bear's with us. Ellen was chiming in, saying hi to everybody. Bob Black, good morning to you. And there was a lot of chatting going on here, and I'm going to try to run through it and get up to around 10 o'clock. Maciel Ordonez, welcome. Good morning from SDA Carnivore, Knoxville, Tennessee. Just eat vegan animals. Yes, eat vegans. Should be a motto. Lynn Gerber, good morning to you. Ribeye Susie's here. How you doing, Ribeye Susie? Good to see you this morning. IB Bill 42 chimed in. Smoothie 42. Good morning to you. Good morning. And let's see, who else didn't I say hi to? And Mike Seeley Sr. is here. Jeff Johnson's here. Good morning, fellow carnivores, he says. How you doing? Maria Kelly chimed in. Oh, not bad. We're up to like 93 people so far, right off the bat. Good. Who is this? This is Satya again. Lori's Carnivore Story said hi to you over in the Rumble chat. Viking Tom, Viking 442 from Tampa. How you doing? Lady June is here. Good to see you. Somebody named Teddy. I don't think I've seen Teddy before. Welcome to the stream, Teddy. Glad you found us. Everybody's saying hi to you. Retired Rick is here. Retired Rick. I'm retired Mitch, although I don't feel very retired these days. I tried retirement doing nothing. I don't like it. I like being busy as hell. Having some kind of a purpose in life. I think a lot of people, when they retire, it's just the beginning of waiting to die unless they are active and keep themselves involved and curious, intellectually curious about things. Me, I'm probably going to work until the day that the coroner comes and carries me away. Jerry Graham, good morning to you, Jerry. How you doing? And Pio is here, Pio Hendrickson. And now we are finally up to 10 o'clock, and Lori says, love the countdown. Cool, glad to see that. And for those of you who are schedule keepers like me, I actually started that countdown 30 seconds before 10 o'clock. I don't know if that's a little OCD of me, but I live by that second hand when I get started on my stream. I have that internet connected clock on my wall, and the second hand is synchronized as close as you can get. And I wait until the second, just like they do in professional broadcasting. Everything has to happen exactly on the second. Danny in Boston's here. Good morning, Danny. Lewis L. from New York. Hiya, Lewis. How you doing? And Boyd Lamb is here. Hiya, Boyd. How is the world? 23 days. Yes, days, D-A-Z-E, till Christmas. Yes, sir, Boyd, good to see you this morning. And Sandy Blythe also says, great intro. That's cool. I did that yesterday. I wasn't crazy about the stock 30-second countdown that came with the StreamYard software, so I made my own. And I thought, what better way for an intro than to show the coffee being brewed and my coffee cup in the process. So glad you all like that. Glad you all like that. Edward Renner's here. Hi, Edward. How you doing? Good morning to you. And holy cow, what is this name? A la Cran Cognac. Holy cow. Holy cow. I just mentioned the carnivore diet on Hispanic video and mentioned, let me see if I can read that. Ansel. You mean Ansel Keys. Not Angel Keys. It's Ansel Keys. And my comment was removed. Doesn't surprise me. You probably mentioned it on a vegan channel. And yeah, I'm not surprised that they removed your comment. Let's see if I can jack myself up a little higher there. There you go. So I'm above the comments a little more. Pearl Grandma, good to see you. Good to see you as usual. Lorraine, look at all these people. Lorraine Barnio, good morning, Lorraine. How are you? And Lat is here. And Captain America, Steve Rogers. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. Good to see you this morning. Jerry Graham, 19 degrees. Holy cow, in Colorado. It was cool out here this morning, as you can tell by my outfit. It was, you guys are going to hate me for this, because this to me is cold, but it was 52 degrees when I came out here first thing this morning. It's warmed up some now. No need for the hood drawn tight around my face, but it's going to be even colder tomorrow morning, so maybe one of these days I'll have that Kenny from South Park look when I come out here. Oh, yeah. Thank you. And Aaron, Booby Goats. Hi, Aaron. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Lizzie's here. Good morning to you. I'm still looking for questions. Don't see any yet. DS111 slowly moving towards black coffee. After becoming carnivore, I surprisingly immediately lost my requirement for sugar anymore. Only cream. Now the cream taste is interesting. I like black coffee. And I got a suggestion in an email from Ricky Lee yesterday, who's been singing the virtues of Wagyu tallow, which I still haven't bought, and I really don't even think I would have a use for, to tell you the truth. But he said that what I should try is a teaspoonful of Wagyu tallow in my coffee and a few other things. And my first thought was, why would anybody want to screw up the wonderful, perfectly great taste of black coffee with nothing in it? And that's kind of where I've settled. I used to drink coffee, cream and sugar, all that stuff, and then I got off of that a long time ago. 50-something. When I was in the Army, I started drinking black coffee, and I've never been able to drink it any other way. As far as bulletproof coffee, adding a lot of fat, MCT oil, butter, ghee, heavy whipping cream, and all the things that people add to their coffee, that's not a bad idea if you don't think you're getting enough fat. The way I've settled into my diet, the food that I eat, based on the indications that my body gives me, is just the right amount of fat. I don't have the need ever to actually add fat to anything, which means I use very little butter. About the only time I even use butter, and again, this is just me, is when I sear a steak. That's it. I go through very little butter. Many carnivores, on the contrary, go through a pound of butter every couple of days. And if that's what you need to do to add fat, because you're eating mostly lean meats, or rendering out all the fat when you cook your ground beef or anything, then just go by and here's the bathroom talk, go by the consistency of your stools and use that as a perfect indicator of whether you're getting enough fat or not. William McCartney, good morning to you. And Aunt B is here. Hi, B. Always good to see you. There's a question. Yes, a question. A question. Let me. Now, I have music. Yes, I have music. Let me shut off the music and let me cheer for the question. I have this mixer here. I may as well use it. So, yes, a question. Okay. The question is, my eating has been a disaster since before Thanksgiving. Oh, Carla. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Up 7 pounds and struggling to get back to it. Looking for motivation. Well, hopefully you're in the right place and you can take comfort and not feel like you're standing out from the crowd. You can take comfort in knowing that the majority of people, except a few of us, like me, that have been doing this so long that it has actually become a way of life and not just something we're trying to get used to, which is where most of the people tend to fall on that spectrum of people who are watching on a daily basis. Some old fart saying the same thing over and over again. And the purpose of this morning live stream, my purpose in doing it every morning, is for it to be more like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting for carbohydrate addicts. That's why I hope so many people are here. Just to cement in your minds that ignore all of the naysayers and all of the medical community and everybody else that's telling you that you're killing yourself and you need to go back to doing what you just did that caused you to gain 7 pounds, probably not feel too well in the process. And to remind you that the surefire way to get back on carnivore is square one. Again, every time you restart, even if it's after just a small little cheat, you have let your subconscious mind know that that food has not gone away. It doesn't have to worry about living without it. All it needs to do is throw cravings at you, and it will get all the sugar it thinks it needs. It also tells me that you haven't completely healed your metabolism and become a fat burner, because after that happens, you will not even want to cheat, but that just takes time and you got to go through it. So go back to the beginning, go back to what I always tell people to do, and that is start eating, eat meat and fat, and eat until you're satisfied, and forget the scale, forget everything else. Just keep eating until you don't want to eat and the cravings go away. And until you stop getting the cravings, just keep repeating that. Don't worry about how often you eat. Don't worry about whether you're going to gain weight or lose weight. Just throw yourself back into the routine of eating when you're really hungry, not when you're emotionally driven or craving driven, and stop eating after a meal, not just a bite or two, but stop eating when satiety sets in. And that satiety, that hormone, that leptin, will be, I think, the only effective way that a real carbohydrate addict has of getting rid of that carbohydrate. And if you think that sounds like a very, very strange Very strange thing to have to do every time you take one little bite of something. Compare it to what an alcoholic has to go through when they fall off the wagon. I don't care if you have a 10-year chit from Alcoholics Anonymous. The minute you fall off the wagon, they demote you back to square one, and you have to start all over to earn your one-day chit. And carb addiction is worse. So think about that if you're thinking about cheating. Do I want to really give up everything I already did? And we're not here to judge. We're here to help. So, Carla, hope that helps. Hope that helps. You're not alone, that's for sure. You're not alone. DJ Scara 89, how you doing? Just left Sam's. I got my eggs, bacon, and steak. Glad to catch you live. Good morning. Good morning, all. Dan from Tarpon Springs. Morning, Dan. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Jerry Graham says, can I use PayPal to buy you a coffee? It all depends on the Buy Me a Coffee app. It all depends on the Buy Me a Coffee app if that lets you use PayPal or not. If it doesn't, and I never said this before on any of my streams or ever even publicized it, but if you want to PayPal me $5 so I can buy my own coffee, my PayPal address is my email address, oldguycarnivore@gmail.com. So you can just do it that way if you can't do it any other way. And I really, really appreciate the thought. Thank you so much. I didn't want people to have to work real hard to do that, and I don't think I've ever gotten any money from anybody in PayPal before, but it would work if you wanted to do it that way. Mama Bear, how you doing? I have not been to a doctor or drawn blood tests in 20 years. I guess I'm living on the edge. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Half the time all those blood tests do is alarm us for no reason. If you're feeling good, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Might not hurt to have one, have a panel once every 20 years, however. I don't want to talk you out of that, but Eric C., how you doing? Appreciate the late start here on Mountain Time. Yeah, I do that one day a week. One day a week. Here's a great question from Dan. This is a cool question. Bet you use antiperspirants with aluminum. And to that I would add, to Dan, what is an antiperspirant? I'm not a big sweater, meaning I don't sweat a lot, never have. Even when I work hard, even when I'm out in the sun. I've never used antiperspirants my entire life, never had to. I took showers when I stunk. I didn't try to cover it up with anything. But since being carnivore for almost 2.5 years, and many other carnivores will tell you that if you got in a room with carnivores, with 20 carnivores that had been a carnivore for a while, had not cheated, had really lived a lifestyle, and even if all of those carnivores hadn't taken a shower in a week, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find any body odor in the room, even. Carnivores simply don't stink. So I have no need for antiperspirant of any kind. And yeah, I would, especially to somebody who needs an antiperspirant or still feels like they're not going to be socially acceptable unless they use one. I also don't ever use cologne or anything, or lotions or anything that has any fragrance to it whatsoever. If somebody doesn't like the way I smell, they can go find somebody else. But I don't seem to be offending many people by not using fragrances, especially perfumes or colognes that just overpower. So I hope that answers that question. Here's a question without a QQQ, but I just noticed it here. Is it really necessary to supplement iodine if only eating red meat and eggs? Old guy carnivore. Well, the reason you supplement iodine is not because of what you're eating. It's because of what may be missing from what you're eating that used to be there in much older times. So you might be eating all red meat, and you might be eating the best pasture-raised, pampered, grass-fed, grass-finished, happy cow that ever lived. But if that cow is grazing in a pasture where the soil is iodine deficient, you're not getting iodine. And the majority of our foods, no matter what they are, unless we know for a fact and have had done laboratory tests to actually see, is there iodine in the soil where the grass is growing that this cow is eating, I think it's safer these days to assume that supplementing iodine is a great, if nothing else, prophylactic measure, proactive measure, because a drop or two a day couldn't hurt you. But iodine is so important, so important. And I think it's one of the major nutrients missing from the modern diet, no matter what that diet may be. I know that Ken Berry is a real believer in that, and he's made many, many videos about iodine. And just go ahead in the search bar on YouTube and type Ken Berry iodine and watch a few of them and listen to some of the nuances that he talks about. And you may want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine, but familiarize yourself with the symptoms of being iodine deficient, and there's many of them. I don't have them memorized, but it's a tricky thing to diagnose. I would say that it couldn't hurt, which is my stock answer for those kind of things. And speaking of other things that can't hurt,
Why? Ooh, what
I do. I hit the wrong button. I can hardly see the buttons on my mixer. There it is. Evidently, I have a button that makes me sound like Darth Vader. How cool is that? Anyway, my friends, I usually say, excuse me, while I light my cigar. But today in honor of a political statement, and I'll let you take this for what it's worth, I will say, pardon me while I light my cigar. Yes. I didn't want to wait till the end and forget about this. I need to settle down. Like I said, I've been running like crazy. Anyway, thank you for your patience. So that answers the question about the iodine, I hope. That's great. Margaret Bien. How you doing, Margaret? Good morning. Mitch just got back to catch up with you. Good to see you. And Axis is here. Axis. I'm eating no fish at all. Many carnivores don't eat fish at all. I eat fish maybe once a week to just up the omega-3s a little bit, but I don't count things. I don't count macros. I just eat the food that I eat. Michael Blade, good morning, Michael. How you doing? How you doing? Don Schonger says, I have to play catch up, but I'm looking for questions. And where am I in the chat? I'm at 10:12. Oh my God, I'm 20 some minutes behind. I'm going to have to start hurrying up. Susan Ivy, how you doing this morning? Here's one I haven't seen before. Empire's Adventures. That's a pretty neat way of spelling it. Empires. Wow. Wow. Good morning, everyone, he says. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Terry Sue. How you doing, Terry Sue? Good to see you. And let's see. Who haven't I said hi to here? Wayne Herman. Good morning, Wayne. Good to see you, too. Looking for questions. Thank you. Can always count on a smart-ass remark from either Cliff Medina or Boyd Lamb. Mitch needs a booster seat. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. That must have been the time I adjusted my picture. And let's see who else I haven't said hi to. Here we have a question. A question from DS111. Question. Old boss, can you recommend a breath freshener to use instead of sugary ones? Holy cow. I have that same problem. First of all, I don't use breath, easy for me to say, breath freshener, especially not with my cigars. I don't get that close to anybody. I live a pretty solitary lifestyle. I have no women in my life. Don't have to worry about kissing or any of that stuff, although sometimes I miss that, but been a while for me. So I don't worry about my breath at all. But that's a tough one, and I would just Google sugar-free breath freshener, see what comes up. You're going to get a million ads for things. And then just when you find one that qualifies at least for that, you might just pore over the ingredients list and try to figure out what all those chemicals and things that you don't understand say. But other than that, God, I wouldn't have any idea. DS111. I wouldn't have any idea how or what to recommend. What to recommend on that. I try to use as few pharmaceuticals, health and beauty products. I went crazy just finding a toothpaste that didn't taste too sweet. And I'm using the Arm & Hammer baking soda toothpaste because I don't even want the sweet taste. I've learned to live without anything that tastes sweet. And I like it. I like it. It makes the savory stuff taste that much better. Anyway, I don't know if I helped you or not with that question, but that's about the best I can do about that. And let me just go down here. Weber's Wonderland, somebody I don't recognize. Coffee with tallow, yuck. Butter can be pleasant, yeah. I tried it. I tried the bulletproof coffee. It didn't do a thing for me, and I said, why do I need that? Why do I need that? And along those lines, Terry says, I don't fatten my coffee anymore, but I used to. Well, I think we all used to. CB says, I have put butter in my coffee, but notice it just concentrates on the top, and you drink it all in the first gulp. Yeah, because fat floats to the top of liquid, of water. Eric C. Wow, we're on the sweeten your coffee thing here. If you have to sweeten your coffee, you need to learn how to brew or find better coffee. Oh, yeah. And Juan Manuel from Chile is here. Good morning, Juan. How are you? Buenos dias, Mitch, he says. Oh, great. Good to see you, Juan. Juan's a good friend of this channel. private community. We see Juan on Thursday nights in his blue robe or driving his Uber car. And everybody is helping everybody else. Wow, we're gaining up to 117 people. Let me take a quick look over there and in the Rumble chat. Ketra says, Mitch, you make me chuckle when you tell us the temperature. It's 23 here on the Mississippi River. Yeah, I preface that by saying you people are going to think I'm nuts when I tell you 52 degrees is cold. But I've been in Florida for 55 years now, and I don't care whatever anybody says. You do get accustomed to it, and we do freeze. We do freeze. Let me stop talking for a second and read some of these things. Carla, I need you and these like-minded people need to throw out my scale. Been at this for a couple years and still have a terrible sugar addiction. And you will. You're going through what I went through for the first 75. Well, I didn't go through it when I was 3 years old, but until I was 75, I never could kick my addiction no matter what I did. I could lose weight on a diet, stick to it for a while, but invariably I would fall off of it, especially if I got down to the weight I wanted to be. I thought, well, I've achieved my goal, on with life, and back up I went. And it's natural. It's natural for our body to put on weight much quicker than it takes it off. Our bodies fight. Weight loss. Weight is money in the bank, is energy in the bank for our body. It's much harder to get the body to give it up than it is to get the body to say, oh man, I need to hoard this. I need to get as much of this as I can because there may be some lean times coming. It's just natural, and you certainly are not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. And my phone went chime. Let's see what we got here. Oh, people have been buying me coffees. Terrific. Thank you. Ketra bought me a coffee. Drink it if you got it. She says, Jerry Graham bought me a coffee. Thank you, Jerry, so much. And somebody named Ultra Human has told me that the final hours for me to buy something I don't need. Oh, man, do I get a lot of those emails. Better hurry up. You're going to miss out on this thing you don't need. Never wanted, didn't even know existed, but now you got to have. Tuka, my friend. Hi, in Finland. How you doing? Good to see you. I guess it's good afternoon to you. Good to see you. Everybody's saying hi to Tuka. And looking for questions. I'm up to 10:28. I'm still 15 minutes behind. All right, let me run through this a little quick. Hey, Mark Booz. Hey, Mark, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Sorry to throw everybody off this morning with this strange schedule, but I managed to get it done. I managed to get home and get this all set up in time, and I'm motivated. I'm dedicated to this, and I love it. I love getting together with all you guys every morning. Who is this? This is CJ Brackney. How you doing? Saying hi to Aunt B. Everybody's chatting away. You guys are great. A great community. ES111 says, I don't work out. That's why I look like this. I tell people. DS111. I got to throw you in there with Cliff Medina and Boyd Lamb as followers of a sarcastic lifestyle, I love you guys. Sarcasm is so important to me. So important to me. Jonesy, how you doing? Mitch, been carnivore for 2 weeks dealing with bad nausea. Any suggestions? Yeah, work through it. Work through it, my friend. Your whole digestive system is going to be in an uproar until you get adapted to this. I can't tell you how to deal with that. I can't tell you because there's so many different things that could be causing it. But if you've only been doing this for 2 weeks, I don't know what you came from, how much you have to adapt, how big a shock it was to your system. So I can't give you advice on that. I can only tell you that it might go away in another week or two. So if it may be a particular food you're eating, too much fat, I don't know if you've had gallbladder issues, whatever that is causing it, if it doesn't go away, you're going to have to try to figure out through elimination what it is that you're not eating that you need or that you're eating that's causing the nausea. Oh, Lori liked my cool voice. Let's see if I can find that again. Let's see. Hang on.
Yes, that's a cool voice. Also,
I have this one. Nope, that's not it. All right, enough fooling around, guys. Got too many funny buttons to push here on my mixer that I don't know what they are because I forgot. And it doesn't say on the button. It just lights up a different color, and you have 100 of them, different pages of them. So I don't use them that much. Don't use this. I got one that makes me sound like a chipmunk, but I don't want to overdo that stuff. Can get a little hokey. Jonesy, somebody said put QQQ before your question. I think, did I miss that one? Well, we'll see if it comes up. Oh, the nausea. Yeah. Here's an answer. Lori says, Jonesy, I encountered nausea at first too. No gallbladder. Getting used to increased fat plus discovered chicken fat in particular caused it. Exactly. So that, give it a little time, and then the lack of a gallbladder is a very common thing that happens to people when they first start carnivore at an age greater than 20. Many people, from not eating any fat and following all the healthy dietary guidelines of very small quantities of only lean meat, no fat, which means your diet is carbohydrate and protein primarily, and your gallbladder just says, what am I doing here? My job is to manufacture the equivalent of dishwashing soap, an emulsifier to break down fat, which I will then inject into the digestive system to help break down the fat. Because if we don't break it down, it will not digest. And if it doesn't digest, it ends up running right through into the colon, in which case you will have raging diarrhea from eating too much fat. And it takes some time, maybe even to wake up a gallbladder, even if you didn't have it removed. Get the sludge out of it. Get the bile flowing again. 2 weeks is not a lot of time. So I would say just hang in there for a little while and see. And where are we? I'm trying to get through this. Yvonne C. says good morning to everybody. And Cosmic Jester's here. How you doing? Good to see you here. Danny in Boston has a question. Mitch, when you get your annual blood work, are there specific tests you request? Well, yeah, but they don't listen to me because I get my blood work from the VA. And I pretty well settle for their standard panels that they do. And they do the standard. Of course, the most important one that they all rely on and hang all of the health decisions that I'm supposed to make on, like everybody else, is my LDL. That's the one number, the one soothsayer that will predict your health for the rest of your life. Only it doesn't. It doesn't. It's irrelevant, absolutely irrelevant as a standalone marker, period. And I always get told that I need a statin, and I say, no, thank you. And then she says, well, I have to put in here because the VA requires that if you have an LDL over a certain number, we have to prescribe a statin. Because the VA, in all of its wisdom, and the federal government's health guideline wisdom, is convinced that that is the one major cause of heart disease, when in fact that we've learned so much in recent years about how it really works, that a high LDL can be the healthiest thing that a metabolically healthy human being can have. That cholesterol, especially when you're a fat burner, is used for everything. And if you have to transport fats, because that's your prime energy source, those fats have to make their way to every cell in your body. And the only way they can do that is through the bloodstream. But you can't carry fat in blood. It's not soluble. You have to carry it in a vehicle that is aqueous soluble. And that's what a lipoprotein is. So they make a big mistake right off the bat in thinking that LDL, a low-density lipoprotein, is cholesterol. It is not. It is a protein designed to encapsulate non-soluble fats and transport them to every cell in the body. And when you're a fat burner, if your cholesterol or your LDL doesn't go up, then you have to ask yourself, you have to scratch your head and say, how the hell's this fat getting to the cells where it's needed? Sugar, on the other hand, is water soluble. So your body can dump all the sugar at once, all the glucose at once into your bloodstream, and it'll get to every cell. And that's how we've all been living for the past 50 to 100 years. And that's why we're in the shape that we're in today. So the question was about my lab tests. They do standard enzyme panels for liver function and thyroid and all that stuff. And they do a pretty nice. But the tests that they don't do that might be most meaningful to people who are trying to reverse diabetes or any of those other things are some of the things that Ken Berry and Kim Howard put in their book Common Sense Labs, and things like fasting insulin. It'd be nice to know if you're borderline diabetic. C-peptide. Is your pancreas actually functioning and creating insulin? Little things like that. And you never hear about that. Cecilia Hay, AAA answer to question. Natural breath freshener. Raw cucumbers don't swallow. Well, there's an interesting thought. Eat a raw cucumber and spit it out. And that'll freshen your breath. Hey, it could be worth a try. Could be worth a try if you're worried about it. And where are we in the chat? We are at 10:41. We are 10 minutes behind. I'm catching up as we come down the home stretch here. 118 people still hanging in there over in Rumble. 9 hardy souls. Not getting the kind of play on Rumble that I thought. And most of the people that are on Rumble are people that are here too. But we keep going. I keep doing it. Doesn't cost me any more to put it up on Rumble. And I am exploring X as a third platform to live stream this thing on. And I think there's quite a carnivore community out there. And thank you, Catfish. Thank you so much. Thank you for your show. You're very welcome. I'm so glad you enjoy it and glad you could be here. And I always appreciate that. Thank you so much. Question here from Rhonda. Free Texanet. Rhonda. Question. I mentioned before I had some pecan pie for Thanksgiving. Being a part of my tribe, do I need to say I just started eating carnivore after the pie incident, I was doing great. If that's all you did, no. I think that if you do it, let's make some rules here, so you don't have to be like an alcoholic and say, I've been carnivore for 1 day. Let's just say, in order to qualify for saying that you need to start over and not be too rough on yourself or too ashamed of yourself for a little tiny deviation, let's just say, unless it resulted in a binge of moderate to monumental proportions, I think you can just look both ways, see if anybody was watching, and quickly scamper back up the ladder onto the wagon and act like nobody noticed. But it's great that you at least had the guts to admit it. Admit it. It's not important if you admit it to anybody else. Admitting it to yourself is what's really important. What's really important. So that was cute. Thank you for that. And anybody else? Anybody new? It's getting kind of late for new people to be in here, telling each other how to cook. Laurie says, yes, I'm 20 years old with 43 years of experience. Yeah, I kind of feel that way about myself too. And we're coming. I'm trying to breeze through it here to get to the end. I'm looking for any more QQQs. I don't think I missed any. If I did, I'm very sorry. I think I've said hi to everybody. And I have gotten down to the bottom of the chat where DS111 has put up a little emoji. Terry Sue says, do we have a spin-off Facebook group of Mitch supporters? I couldn't tell you that, Terry. I don't use Facebook. I never have. I don't like Facebook. I don't like their politics. I don't like a lot of things about Facebook. It is probably the biggest social media platform in the world. They have billions of users. Excuse me a second. Okay. There might be a Facebook group. There's all kinds of Facebook groups over there, that's for sure. And there may be one. There is one, let me know. But people send me links to Facebook stuff. And of course, when I try to go to them, the first thing it says is you need to log into Facebook to read this. And I say, well, sorry, no, I'm not going to. I had an account at one time. I deleted it. I don't want anything to do with that. I may, after a year of political change in this country, and see if old Zuckerberg isn't just paying lip service to the fact that he regrets some of the stuff that happened on Facebook, some of the very important news stories that they suppressed and would not let out, so much of the censoring, so the propagation of so many of the lies that we know. I know he admitted it, but I still don't know. People admit all kinds of things they don't mean for whatever purpose or agenda that they have. And down at the bottom of the chat, I don't think I missed any questions. Wow, got through it. How about that? And it is 40 seconds from 11 o'clock. What timing, guys? What timing? And I still have some coffee. I have some cold coffee here. It still tastes good. This is that donut shop, regular caffeinated coffee that I get from Sam's Club. Sometimes they put it on sale. You can get like 100 of these K-Cups for $29. And when I see that, I usually buy a couple boxes of those. And I like it. It's not bad. Like the taste of it. I could become a coffee aficionado and grind my own beans and have one of these $5,000 big stainless steel monstrosities that look like a miniature oil refinery. But it's good enough for me. Good enough for me. And I think with that, my friends, I think with that, I see that Carla, wish I had a cigar. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. And that's it. I'm at the bottom of the chat. So my friends, I'm going to call it a day. I think we should call it Monday. Let that be a decree. Heretofore, this day shall be known as Monday, and I will bring in a little happy music to end this stream and say see you later. So have a great day. It's gorgeous here in Florida. I hope it's pleasant wherever you are. I know there's a huge cold front coming across the country right now. The worst of it, we're going to get the coldest of it tomorrow morning. I may be bundled. I may be bundled. Yeah, I may be bundled up. Thank you, Rick. That's a great thought. Mitch should roll his own cigar from yard-grown tobacco. Nah, I don't think so. And I keep looking at the chat, and it keeps going. Okay, we got to stop sometime, guys. So listen, my friends. All of you have a great day. Have a great day. Stick to the plan. Be carnivore. Eat meat. You know the drill. So, without further ado, you now have my permission, everybody. And if anybody doesn't like it, you tell them I said it was okay. You have my permission to take the rest of the day off and eat meat.